In 3.
Hello, people. I am from the future, and I'm part of one of the biggest scandals in the history of the world. After the scandal was over, I lost everything, and let me tell you, that's an awful lot. Now I'm going to tell you how the scandal happened to me. First, let me tell you how I got to this point in my life. I was a self-made 25-year-old billionaire. My life was great. I had a mansion with an indoor pool and a bowling alley and a basketball court, and everything in my life was perfect. It all started in high school. I started off freshman year doing an average job, and then I got a little worse first semester of sophomore year. But that all changed after I took public speaking. You see, my teacher, Mr. Reynolds, forced me not to talk about my love in life in my speeches, football. I was so mad at first, but soon I realized I hated football. And I decided to devote all my time to my studies and not worry about football. I ended up getting straight A's the rest of my high school career, and I got a full scholarship to Harvard University. At Harvard, I got such great grades that they let me graduate at the age of 19. After I graduated, I got a job that paid $3 million a year. Now, I was happy with that, but it wasn't good enough for me. I wanted more. I worked so hard in school and I wanted to be a billionaire. So at the age of 20, I quit my job and I made my own company. The company I made was intended to sell a new type of film that I invented. That new type of film that I invented, I put all my time and all my money into this, and I was sure it was going to work. It didn't. In fact, it felt so bad, and I was forced to live with I lost everything. I was forced to live with my friend Anthony Parks for 3 months after that. During that time, I found my love for sports again. But this time, it wasn't football. It was baseball. I was so good. Anthony was amazed when we played that summer, and as a surprise for my 21st birthday, he got me a tryout with the Tampa Bay Rays. I did so good with that tryout, and the Rays immediately signed me to a contract worth $30 million a year. So, me and my friend Anthony moved to Tampa Bay, and we bought a house to live in, and we were just living the dream. Except, one thing was different about Anthony. He seemed out of it all the time, thinking about something. Also, every day from 3 to 7 p.m., he was in his room doing something, and I had no idea what it was. When I asked him about it, he wouldn't tell me, and I understood. So I went on living as if everything was normal. By the age of 23, I was a free agent, and I was the best player in the league. I wanted to sign with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and when I told Anthony, he was furious. He wanted us to stay in Tampa Bay and live there and live the happy life. Except, of course, I got greedy, and I signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks for $50 million a year. When I told Anthony, he was so mad. We ended up getting into a fight, and I shot him right there on the spot. I thought he was dead, so I fled, but not before going up in his room and looking at what he's been working on all this time. It turns out Anthony was a genius and has been working on an app that can do almost anything. I decided to steal the app so I could become a billionaire. So I went to Arizona as if everything was normal. I made the app, and the money started pouring in immediately. By the age of 24, I was officially a billionaire, and I was the best player on the best team in the league, the Arizona Diamondbacks. I played my heart out throughout the whole entire season and the playoffs, and we were in the World Series, and I'll never forget this terrible day. I was resting in my $400 million mansion when I heard a knock on the door. I opened the door, and there was the worst sight that I could ever see. A Girl Scout selling cookies. I was so mad, I immediately rejected her offer, and I went back to resting. Later that day, I heard another knock on the door. I opened the door, and it turns out this was actually the worst sight that I could ever see. My friend was alive, and he was with 2 policemen. The policeman immediately said, "You're under the arrest for the attempted murder of Anthony Parks." They made me take a drug test when I first got to jail. That was bad news because I had been taking steroids so I could get better at baseball. And by now, I'm never satisfied with anything. So when the MLB found out about this, they immediately banned me for life. I was kind of mad, but I wasn't too mad because I still had the app to make me rich. So I went to court, and luckily, they couldn't prove I attempted to murder him. So I got off the hook. Anthony was so mad. So I went back home and rested in my $400 million mansion a little bit. And on my 25th birthday, I was partying at a club in Pittsburgh. When I was in Pittsburgh, I saw Anthony in one of the corners, and he came up to me and screamed at me. He said, "I'm suing you for all you got for stealing my idea for the app." I had no idea he knew I stole his idea. I pulled out my gun to shoot him. There was police around, and they tasered me. When I woke up, I was in jail. Luckily, I got bailed out. When I got bailed out, I decided to build a time machine. The time machine, halfway through my building of the time machine, I got found guilty. I had to give up everything I owned. So after I gave up everything I owned, I went back to building my time machine. After I was done building it, I came here, and here I am. Now, I came here for one reason, and that was to tell my 16-year-old self not to make the same mistakes I did. However, I see he's not here right now, so I'm counting on you guys to pass this message on to him. If I go back into the future and I am rich again, I'll be so proud of you guys. And if any of you guys are ever rich, appreciate what you have, and don't be greedy, because you never know when it might be taken away.